Welcome with family gives South Dakota 3 thumbs up.
AAA.
Now to Wyoming.
Wild Wild West Adventures of Mom, Dad, Girl, and the Little White Dog.
Episode 8, Driving Across the Great Plains of Wyoming.
Day 10 of 75, from South Dakota's Black Hills
So pretty.
to the Grand Tetons.
But before we can smell that fresh mountain air, we have to get across the Great Plains. Day 10 starts out at Fort Welikit Family Campground in Custer, South Dakota. Rise and shine, my sweet little lovies. I made pancakes.
Got some more tailgate cooking, some farm fresh breakfast sausage, blueberry pancakes. Really like that almond flour, Simply Mills pancake mix. I like using the empty protein powder containers. They work well for mixing it up, and then you can actually keep it for 2 days if you don't want to use the whole mix. And then the lid makes a nice little rest.
Before we hit the road, I just want to share a few fun little spots here at Fort Welikit Family
It's
Campground.
a fun little play area for the kids here at Fort Welikit, even at TP. Fort Welikit office and the laundry facility back there. Fort Deposit. That's the office name. They have cute little names for all their different areas around here.
We spent 5 nights here exploring the Black Hills area. Check out our South Dakota playlist to see all the fun things we did.
Here we are leaving Fort Welikit, and we did like it. Fun little teepees you can stay in too. We got one last stop at this awesome rock shop here.
All right, you got 5 minutes.
Got some awesome treasures at the rock shop.
It's pretty cool, huh?
Custer, South Dakota,
Downtown, heading out.
headed west
West to Wyoming.
in the United States of
At
America.
9:46. Well, we will. We're going to be in Wyoming for a bit, and then we're headed to Montana. As we head out of South Dakota, we're just kind of recapping things that we liked about South Dakota.
Yep.
I know one of my favorites was just the change of scenery, how you go from the Badlands to like just grass everywhere, and then you get to the Black Hills with lots of rocks and lakes, and just the change of scenery was just really unique. What about you, honey?
I just liked the people were so nice and very welcoming, and the scenery was absolutely stunning, especially the Black Hills. The Badlands were really unique, and it was just a great place. I'll definitely be back there.
What about you, Alexis? What were some of your favorites about South Dakota?
I liked the mountain ones.
The mountain goats were really cool, weren't they? We got to see them pretty close, weren't we? But still safe distance, right? So the Welcome with family gives South Dakota 3 thumbs up.
AAA.
Now to Wyoming.
Here's our last little taste of South Dakota. All good. We're almost at the state line. Welcome to Wyoming.
Now it's time for road trip education with Homeschool
One thing we
Mom.
really like to do before we go to a national park is to check out some books from the library and learn all about the places we're going to visit.
We even got books of animals we might see, like bison and prairie dogs.
So I highly recommend that you check out some books from your local library before you go on your trips. You can get books about states, national parks, all sorts of cool information that you can discover before you go, and it really makes your trip a lot more meaningful.
Here are some facts we gathered from these Wyoming books.
Wyoming is known as the cowboy state.
Wyoming's legislator adopted the Code of the West as the state's official code of ethics.
Live each day with courage.
Take pride in your work.
Always finish what you start.
And do what has to be done.
Be tough, but be fair.
Ooh, I like that one.
Ride for the brand. Show loyalty and commitment to the job.
When you make a promise, keep it.
Take pride in your work.
Talk less, say more.
I think we need to hear that one again.
Talk less, say more. Talk less, say more.
Remember that some things are not for sale.
Know where to draw the line.
Wow, those are some really good rules to live by.
The Great Plains, Lou. Great Plains.
So there ain't much out here in Wyoming. And I think that would be an understatement to say there ain't much out here.
How many miles have we been driving in Wyoming?
I don't know, not that many, but there's nothing here. Like,
I think we've passed maybe 6 houses.
When I say nothing, there's nothing. I mean, you see some fences, some power lines. I don't think I've passed 2 cars.
No.
Oh, maybe here's a car
Oh
coming
yeah,
down.
look at that.
I feel like I am in the Old West,
Mm-hmm.
going across the prairie.
Look, it's a house.
Yep, and there's a house. There's
Oh,
one
yeah.
house way up there.
But yeah,
But it definitely makes you think about the pioneers going through this. Like, we really haven't seen a lot of water sources here.
and
And like, this was pretty rough. And like, obviously the road's smooth, but look, that's what they've traveled on, was that over there. Pretty crazy.
Yep.
So the Great Plains of Wyoming are no joke. We literally saw this view for almost 8 hours driving from Custer, South Dakota, all the way to Grovant Campground in Kelly, Wyoming.
So there's not too much around Wyoming, but when we did get to some civilization, we found us a Dollar General. Travel tip if you're traveling Wyoming from the Black Hills over to the Grand Teton National Forest.
number 1, gas gets a lot more expensive as you go west, and they have 85 octane, which is pretty much useless unless you have an old car. So you're suckered in for the 88 octane, which is even more expensive. But bigger tip than that, don't pass up an opportunity to get gas, especially if you're pulling a camper, because gas stations are few and far between.
Right, so we filled up. There was one in between our next fill up, and we were what, at a quarter tank?
And a quarter tank.
Yeah. So we couldn't have gone any
And
further.
I do travel with a 5-gallon gas can for the generator, and just in case, but I don't want to have to get into that.
Yeah. So stop while you can
Stop while you can.
and get ready to pay up.
Yeah.
The further west we drove and the closer we got to the Bridger-Teton National Forest, the landscape started to change. We saw trees, we saw water, and then we saw the painted hills. They were absolutely gorgeous. The change of scenery was such a welcome surprise after staring at the prairies for almost 8 hours. Oh, they're so pretty.
And then we saw snow.
Look at all the snow.
Snow, 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 snow. It won't be long before we'll all be there with snow.
Snow, snow. I want to wash my hands, my face, and hair with snow.
After driving for 500 miles through those Great Plains, we finally get to Grand Teton National Park.
Join us in our next episode as we explore Grand Teton National Park. I will leave you with a goodbye and let you enjoy our drive to Grovant Campground. Okay, so maybe I'm not ready to say goodbye. As I get ready to upload this video and do my final watch, I'm just taken back by the amazing contrast that we experienced all in one day. God was quite creative with these interesting changes in the landscape. I think he likes throwing in surprises to keep us on our toes. Oh man, and I just absolutely love the Tetons. I'm just so thankful that we were allowed this blessing of enjoying God's creation.
Polly's position the whole way. Snuggled up in Lovin's. Aren't you Snuggles? Yes. Polly, you Snuggles? You snuggled up.
We finally made it to Grovant Campground here in Grand Teton National Park.
We're here surrounded by the beautiful plain cottonwoods and a lot of sagebrush. It's nice that even though there's no hookups, you have this really nice asphalt pavement here. And we heard there's a lot of moose that come through. That's what we're hoping for. We've got our little bear box here to secure our food at night, as not only the moose, but also bears are frequent visitors.
We had to put our black stone in the bear box so bears wouldn't be attracted.
A quick but delicious dinner on the Blackstone, and then we were off to bed.
I'm not sure what to do with my hands.
Be good just to hold them down by your side. Yeah, great.
Talk less, say more. Talk less, say more.
Wyoming's legislator. Blah, blah, blah.